Hey, I'm Dawn.
Hey, I'm Ryan Burleson.
Hey, I'm Andy Burleson.
Hi, and I'm Carol Humbert.
So back in 2015, my family and I took a trip to several states and several days. And on our way home, we stopped by Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky. My daughter and I did a 2-hour investigation, and from the things I saw that night, I knew this is a hobby and a passion. I had to do this. After that, about a year later, throughout that year, I was talking to my brother Andy, and we had decided to go back. He had to experience what I experienced. And instead, we went back and we did an 8-hour all-night investigation. And once again, it was crazy in that place. The things that we experienced, it's just hard to imagine that some place is that haunted. Andy and I were pumped about it on the way home. We were talking about how cool it would be to do this as a hobby. And then about a year later after that, we're moving into like 2017. We invited Alex Gaddy to go with us to Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Last year for 2018, it was voted the most haunted place in America. All three of us went, did an overnight investigation, and it lives up to its voting name. No way around it. It was a very active night. Alex loved it. Once again, on the ride home, we discussed how cool it would be to do this as a hobby. Later on that year, in 2017, we decided to go to Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. I wanted to go, and Alex wanted to go. We were like, it would be a good time to pick up and do a fall trip and go to it's in Tennessee. And we asked Carol Humbert and her husband Jeremy Humbert to go with us. Andy couldn't make that one. We all went, and we were locked in an abandoned hospital for 22 hours. It was intense, very scary place, but I dare say haunted. But very spooky place. Again, on that ride home, all of us discussed how cool it would be to do this as a hobby. And then moving into January of 2018, one night we were all discussing doing this as a hobby, and we were all playing Xbox and had on headsets and was playing and talking about it, and we discussed about what would we call ourselves if we ever became a team. And all of us live in North Carolina, and I think I was searching online for some catchy names, and First in Flight came up talking about the Wright brothers. And I'll never forget, Alex spoke up and started giggling, and he said, "What about First in Fright?" And we all busted out laughing and just having a good time with it. And then when everybody stopped laughing and it got kind of quiet, we thought, wow, that's a really good name, catchy name. And so that's when we became First in Fright Paranormal. Bottom line, First in Fright Paranormal is here to help people, help families. We will investigate any home or residence or business to investigate it with our electronic devices and equipment.
With permission.
Yeah, absolutely with permission. We do everything the right way. We make sure we get all the red tape tore down and all the permissions needed to do so. And then a lot of times that involves a Facebook Live, which is also another set of permissions to do. And we only use our electronic devices as evidence. That's it. We don't, no personal experiences, no mediums, none of that, no feelings or anything. Not even seeing something. If it's not captured on camera, it's a great experience, but it's not considered evidence.
country club with the fork flipping off the plate. That was, no, we couldn't explain it. Everybody watched the video several times, talked about it, and he jumped up and down on the floor. We did everything we could to explain that away. Yeah, and that's about the craziest so far. Is something moving on its own.
Because the week before we went in just to check it out, and I was sitting there eating, and we were
Same
done
table,
at the same table, and the fork just literally flew up off the table.
And that was the whole purpose of setting up that same set.
Yeah.
Was because of what
Just
happened the
seeing
week
that
before, just
happen
eating
again.
dinner. And that was why we did that night, and then it happened again. So, all right.
Cool. What about you?
I'm probably taking Andy's.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, personal feeling is the cultural center in the green room. It's happened twice now. She sends me random pictures of the green room all the time just to freak me out.
I live here, so
Yeah.
I'm all over town all the time anyway. So
I'm saying the cultural center not to take Andy's because that's the one. The one he has is very, very intense, and it's visual. It was very visual. We didn't even have equipment then. We had recorders in our hands. That's all we had. That was really before we became a team and everything. But the cultural center, just based on a presence, a feeling, the way you feel. For me, I wouldn't say paralyzed or paralysis. I would say kind of felt like I was frozen in place, and that if I was to get up, that something bad would happen. And I don't get feelings, so for that to happen to me, I would say it's a pretty intense environment.
Me and you at Waverly Hills. It was probably 5:30 in the morning. So we had about an hour together or something. We were at the top of the body chute. So one side of the chute, supposedly what the story was that dead bodies would be going down the chute, and on the other side were steps. And people would go up the steps to go to work. That's how they would come in. So as people
One
were
side
coming in,
was a ramp, one side was
Yeah.
steps. So a gurney down one side, stairs up the other. It's 500 feet long.
so we're at the top, and we had a lady with us from Florida by herself, and she tagged along with us. And we were sitting there, I was sitting there, and she said, "What is that? You see that?" I didn't see it, he didn't see it. She grabs me and grabs my head, and I see it. I said, "Ryan, that thing's coming up, it's coming up the chute."
And I still haven't seen it.
So it comes up the chute very, very fast, very fast. Then we got about 10 to 15 feet ahead of us. And the only way I can describe it is it looked like a jellyfish, like with tentacles and stuff. And that's what I could see. And it was floating back and forth in front of us. And then I started seeing a head, the top of his shoulders, seeing a tie. I could see facial features.
His little tail.
And he was just standing there and just floating back and forth. And I grabbed Ryan, and I was scared.
He literally
I'm gonna be
picked me
honest
up
with
by
you,
my
I
shirt.
was scared. I don't know what I couldn't explain what I was seeing, so it was scary. I was scared.
My comment to him was, "We paid to see this. We're staying."
I said, "Turn your flashlight on." He turned it on. It's gone.
It's gone.
So the flashlight goes back off. We stand there. Here it comes again. It's coming up the chute again very quickly. It does the same thing. And we're standing there and just watching it. It was watching us, it seemed like. What happened? We went and grabbed some more people.
There was
We could
someone.
hear some people.
There was only a
Come here,
family.
we want to show you.
Yeah.
They saw it too.
We set them down, put the light out. They saw the she described the man the exact same way what we saw.
So yeah, that was my experience.
And this is in a tunnel that if you hold your arms out, you're touching wall to wall, and it's 1.5 feet.
I
of
cannot
concrete
see
all around.
my hand in front of my face. That's how dark it is.
Pitch black.
It's very, very dark. The darkest place I think I've ever stood in.
For me, I have two. one is with Dawn on the fork situation, sitting there and knowing that you're not touching something and it all of a sudden moves beside you, that is just freaky. And my next one would probably be Allegheny, where me and a female and her husband were in a room, supposedly where two other men killed another man by bashing his head on the bed rails and then hanging him. Physically sitting there, her whole demeanor had changed in front of us. She's normally a bubbly, happy person, and then all of a sudden to see somebody change and say, hey, we need to get out of here. And as we're leaving, in our video and on our voice recorder, you can hear a man clearly asking, where's she going? And from that day on, I've just been hooked, and I'm like, I'm scared, but I'm excited at the same time.
I think we found definitive proof of the paranormal based on EVPs that we've captured, which is electronic voice phenomena. We've also captured video, footprints in a bathroom.
Absolutely.
A fork being pushed off a plate.
Flipped off the plate.
Yeah, flipped off the plate. Yeah. I mean, that's ignoring all of our feelings, all of our experiences. That's sticking with the evidence, which is our devices. Being in buildings and our devices going off with no power. It's not supposed to happen.
All your batteries.
Or your batteries.
Batteries being drained. Yeah,
It's all the time.
Charged batteries.
it happens a lot.
Country club was a lot.
Yep.
Yep.
I had to get a new phone.
Yeah, at the country club, there's an EVP. You hear the EVP, and he says enough. And as soon as he says it on the recording, he says, "My phone just died." What just happened? My phone just died. And then the next day, he went home and charged it. And never came back on. He had to go buy a new phone. I mean, things like that. But based on evidence, yes, between those things, the multiple EVPs we've captured, most people that hear a voice on a recorder, they're not going to deny. If I turned on a recorder and I said hello and I rewound it and listened it back and I hear myself say hello, I'm not going to deny I hear hello.
Right.
So how is this any different when just because you can't hear it with your ears doesn't mean someone isn't speaking?
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that. The human ear can hear, I believe up to 20 hertz.
Yes.
They can hear 20 hertz and above is what the human ear can hear. Most EVPs are around 17 and a half hertz, which means that's below the human threshold of hearing. It means you can't hear it. So you need another electronic device to be able to pick that up, and that's why you see voice recorders. We encourage them. Absolutely, we encourage them. Because all of us are skeptics. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this. I mean, obviously, we're after something, and until we get it, we're not going to stop, obviously. Skepticism is what drives you. It's on the back of our shirts by Thomas Wolfe. The essence of belief is doubt. Well, that doubt is skepticism. So, until we get that physical evidence, although when it does happen, we still deny it. Even when we can't debunk
still
it.
try to
It's like before. It's like, what?
Why are we doing this? Can't believe we're on footage. But yeah, we welcome skepticism. Absolutely.
Before I met them, it's been about a year since I met them. I've probably been with 3 different paranormal teams when they come to Lincoln and stop at different things at the Cultural Center and the Battleground and another meal in town. And a couple of those teams, I would just go and hang out and take pictures and stuff. And a couple of them, I just absolutely just had to go home. One team they were scaring themselves. I mean, they were literally every little bump and thing, and one of them would bump into each other, and the whole team would be scared to death. And so when I met them, I really, I'm quiet. I didn't know anybody, so I just followed them around and listened, and every now and then I might say something. That's about it. But they would ask questions. Well, what was that? Well, let's figure it out. They would go to whatever it was that made the noise. You know, let's try and make that noise too, see what it was.
Almost
instead
kind of debunk ourselves to
yeah,
make sure.
yeah, say, well, oh, well, that's what that was, or this is what, you know, it wasn't, oh my gosh, listen to, you know, what just happened, and they make something out of nothing. They were the opposite. They were like, well, okay, that wasn't, you know, what was that?
Yeah.
But, so that, I started asking, hey, you know, I'll go take pictures, where y'all gonna be, or whatever, so I just started hanging out with them whenever I got a chance, so. They were completely different from some of the other teams that I tried to follow around just to take pictures for. So.
Personally, I think I can speak for the team. We're paranormal investigators. We put way too much work into this not to be investigated. History, backgrounds, all the things that go into this that we do to learn about a site, to go into it, to investigate it, and it's what's inside it. To say ghost hunting means we're chasing it. We're not chasing anything. We're not hunting down anything.
We're letting it come to us.
Yeah, we're trying to coach and talk it into coming to us to investigate what it is. So personally, we're paranormal investigators. We don't consider ourselves ghost hunters or ghost chasers or any other term out there. If you don't put the work in behind it and you just say, hey, this place is haunted, let's go see what we can stir up, you're chasing ghosts. If you look at the place and you stand back and look at the background, everything that goes along with it to understand a site and why you're going into it, then I feel like with that work behind it, that makes you an investigator. I think it helped and it hindered. I think it helped because after those few shows hit the air, got out there, people got addicted to them. Now there's 3,300 teams in America. I mean, it grew dramatically. So I think it's a good thing. I think the bad part of that is that Hollywood has gotten into it way too deep to maintain ratings, in turn making it fair on some level or aspect. And I think it's a good and a bad thing. I think a good thing to kind of train, show people what they need to do to get out there and do it on their own, and what equipment to get, what all it means and what all it does. And it was like a lesson or a schooling on paranormal investigating. People took it, ran, made it their own. And then a team like us, we integrate Facebook Live, YouTube, all the social media platforms, but to bring people along. So live, and that's a 10-second delay. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do in a 10-second delay to do anything crazy. It is what it is.
And I think that's what makes people feel like they're along with you and they know you and you're a part of. You become a part of what they do.
Yeah.
What
it
they
sounds like
enjoy.
we're in their home with them.
It's like the first in Fright family.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they anticipate that Friday night. They look forward to that Friday night. They get in there with us. They ask questions. We use their questions. And sometimes when something reacts to their questions, they are involved. They are there. There's no naysayers. It's people that want to be there, that enjoy what they watch. It's not about views. It's not about anything else other than coming along for the ride and experiencing it firsthand themselves with us with a 10-second delay. All right, guys, this right here is a REM pod. It is simply based on just getting near it. It has an electromagnetic field around it. If you break that field, it will set the alarm off. The more I touch it, the more it'll go off, and you get different lights for strength. This is simply a flashlight. This is the flashlights we always use. This is an SB7 spirit box. We have an SB11 spirit box in our other bag, but this one is hooked to an external speaker. And this is actually sweeping either FM or AM frequencies. And the thought behind that is that you'll pick up someone speaking in the spirit world, however you want to say that. But all it does is just scans frequencies at a rapid pace, usually 100 or usually 50 to 300 milliseconds, depending on how fast you want it to go. This is a K2 meter. This is used by most electricians just to simply find electricity or power. So when you're in a building like this that's built in the 1800s, a lot of times you have rampant like electrical outlets or anything that would put off a lot of EMF, which is electromagnetic field. And usually when this thing goes off, especially in a building without power, then something's going on. So this was the area it went off to, and was in this corner, and that was it of the building. We're not sure why. So that's the majority of the equipment we use tonight, along with 3 DVR cameras with night vision capabilities, and it's all hooked to a DVR that we'll review later, along with 2 audio recorders.